Vito Genovese was a prominent and influential figure in the American Mafia, particularly as the boss of the Genovese crime family. Here are some additional details about his life and criminal career. Early life. Vito Genovese was born on November 21, 1897, in Risigliano, a small town in Italy. He immigrated to the United States in 1913 and settled in New York City, where he became involved in criminal activities. Criminal career. Genovese quickly rose through the ranks of the Italian-American underworld, becoming involved in various legal enterprises, including bootlegging during Prohibition and drug trafficking. He was known for his intelligence and ruthlessness. Luciano Era. During the late 1920s and early 1930s, Genovese aligned himself with Charles "Lucky" Luciano, one of the most powerful figures in the American Mafia. He played a role in the Castellammarese War, a mob conflict on behalf of Luciano, and it was during this time that Genovese gained notoriety within the Mafia. Fleeing to Italy. In the 1930s, Genovese faced criminal charges in the United States, including murder, to avoid prosecution. He fled to Italy, where he lived in exile for several years while in Italy. He continued to exert influence over the American Mafia through associates in New York. Returned to the United States. Genovese returned to the United States in the 1940s and resumed his activities in the American Mafia. He played a key role in the so-called Appalachian Meeting of 1957, an infamous gathering of mobsters that drew the attention of law enforcement and helped expose the extent of organized crime's influence. Boss of the Genovese crime family. Vito Genovese eventually became the boss of the Genovese crime family, one of the most powerful and largest mafia families in the United States. His leadership was marked by an emphasis on narcotics trafficking and other criminal enterprises. Conviction and imprisonment. In 1959, Genovese was convicted on charges of conspiracy to violate federal narcotics laws. He was sentenced to 15 years in prison. While incarcerated, he continued to control the family's activities. Vito Genovese died in prison on February 14, 1969, at the United States Penitentiary in Springfield, Missouri. His death marked the end of his criminal career and leadership of the Genovese crime family. Vito Genovese is remembered as one of the most influential and feared mob bosses in the history of the American Mafia. His criminal activities and leadership had a significant impact on the organized crime landscape in the United States during the mid-20th century.